This happened years ago, back when life felt simpler, but patience felt thinner. I had just finished a long shift at work. You know the kind. Your feet hurt, your brain is fried, and all you want is food, air conditioning, and maybe 5 minutes where nobody asks you for anything. My coworker, let's call her Jess, and I had made a tradition out of meeting at the mall after work. Nothing fancy, just walking around, decompressing, laughing about customers, and pretending adulthood wasn't exhausting. That evening, the parking lot was packed. Friday night energy. Families everywhere, teenagers roaming in packs, shopping bags swinging, cars circling like sharks hunting for the last open spaces. And that's when we saw it. A shiny, oversized Jeep sitting proudly near the entrance. Except it wasn't just parked. It was spread out, diagonal, careless, taking up 2 prime parking spots like it had paid rent for both. Jess slowed her car. We both stared. I felt that familiar spark of irritation crawl up my spine, the universal feeling everyone gets when someone else's laziness becomes everyone else's inconvenience. People were driving past, clearly annoyed. One car even paused, hoping maybe the Jeep owner would magically appear. Nope, just empty arrogance sitting on 4 wheels. Jess muttered, "Wow, someone thinks they're important," and something inside me clicked. Not anger exactly, more like opportunity. We actually had time to kill that evening. No rush, no plans. And sometimes boredom plus mild injustice equals creativity. I looked at the empty spot beside the Jeep, technically one of the spots it was hogging, and an idea formed instantly. "What if," I said slowly. Jess turned toward me, already smiling because she knew that tone. "What are you thinking?" I grinned. "What if we just parked correctly?" Now, I drove a tiny car back then, the kind that could fit into spaces most SUVs feared. So I pulled in slowly, carefully, perfectly within the lines. Close enough that the Jeep's driver's side door now had, let's say, 0 breathing room. I stepped out and admired the work. Completely legal parking, perfect alignment, no rules broken, just consequences. Jess burst out laughing. "Oh my God," she said, "they're going to have to climb in from the other side." And honestly, that was all we expected. A small inconvenience, a harmless lesson, a quick laugh. Game over. But karma wasn't finished yet. We moved Jess's car across the lot and parked where we could see everything. Front row seats. We settled in, snacks in hand, joking like we were watching live entertainment. Minutes passed. Then something incredible happened. A stranger walking by noticed my car, then the Jeep. He stopped, looked closer, then looked around with the expression of someone realizing they'd just discovered comedy gold. He shook his head, chuckled, and walked to his own car. Jess and I watched, confused. Then our jaws dropped. He parked on the other side of the Jeep, perfectly, precisely, blocking the passenger side door. Jess slapped the dashboard. "No way! No way!" I was crying laughing already. What started as a tiny prank had evolved into a full collaborative effort between complete strangers. Now, the Jeep had exactly 1 entrance left, the back hatch. We hadn't planned this. We hadn't coordinated. The universe had simply decided this lesson needed reinforcement. We sat there trying to act normal, but failing miserably. Every person walking toward the mall entrance felt like potential main characters. "Is that them?" Jess whispered every 30 seconds. The suspense made it 10 times funnier. Because now it wasn't just about inconvenience, it was about anticipation. Would they be angry, confused, embarrassed? Finally, about 15 minutes later, we saw them. A couple walking out of the mall. The guy spotted the Jeep first. He stopped mid-step. Even from across the lot, you could see the confusion hit him like a wall. He turned in a slow circle, arms slightly raised, the universal body language of, "What the heck happened here?" The guy was exactly what you'd imagine. Big build, bald head, gym shirt confidence. The type who walked like space automatically belonged to him. His girlfriend walked beside him, dressed for a night out, bright pink miniskirt, heels clicking against the pavement. They approached the Jeep, paused, looked left, my car, looked right, the stranger's car. Silence. Then the arm gestures began, big dramatic motions, hands thrown in the air. He paced around the vehicle like it had betrayed him personally. Jess whispered, "He's trying to figure out who to blame." I could practically hear his internal monologue from across the parking lot. Who parks like this? Why are people so inconsiderate? The irony was almost too much. He tried the driver's side. Nope. He tried squeezing through. Definitely nope. Then the passenger side. Also impossible. They circled the Jeep again. The girlfriend crossed her arms, clearly annoyed now. They spoke rapidly, not loud enough to hear words, but loud enough to read emotion. Confusion turned into frustration. Frustration turned into resignation. And then came the moment. The boyfriend looked at the back hatch, paused, looked at her, and gestured. Jess grabbed my arm. Oh my God, he's not. He was. With the dignity of the entire parking lot silently watching, the girlfriend climbed into the back of the Jeep, in heels, in a pink miniskirt, trying desperately to maintain balance while crawling over seats. The boyfriend stood outside directing traffic like this was a completely normal situation. I lost it. Tears streaming, silent laughter so intense my stomach hurt. She finally reached the driver's seat from inside and started the engine. The Jeep backed out slowly, carefully, and as soon as there was space, both cars, mine and the stranger's, became perfectly normal parked vehicles again. No damage, no confrontation, just pure poetic inconvenience. As they drove away, I swear the boyfriend scanned the lot suspiciously, trying to identify the invisible enemy responsible. Meanwhile, Jess and I sat there victorious, witnesses to the most satisfying real-time karma imaginable. It wasn't about cruelty. It wasn't even really revenge. It was about fairness. For once, the person who ignored everyone else's convenience had to experience a tiny fraction of the inconvenience they caused. No yelling, no conflict, just consequences delivered by geometry and patience. And honestly, 10 out of 10. Absolutely worth the wait. That day taught me something simple. Most people don't change because of lectures or arguments, but sometimes a small, harmless inconvenience can remind someone the world doesn't revolve around them. Karma doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just parks correctly. If this story made you laugh or reminded you of someone who definitely deserved instant karma, Hit that like button and drop a comment telling me the most satisfying petty revenge you've ever seen. And don't forget to subscribe, because the next story might just be even more perfectly timed than this one. See you in the next revenge story.